Good morning, Bucknutters. It is Tuesday, April 17th, 2018. I'm Dan Rubin. This is the Bucknuts Morning 5 and Change, coming to you from the Gem City. If you want to know the weather, my son said to me this morning, last week I was wearing shorts. Today I have a winter jacket on. There's snow on the ground, so it's awful. How do we make you feel better? We bring in Duane Long on this fine morning in Columbus for Duane. Duane, how are you?
Irritated, tired of this. Like your son said, last Thursday it was 80 in Columbus. Friday it was in the high 70s. And Monday and Tuesday it's snowing. Are you kidding me? This is just crazy.
Yeah, Duane and I do complain about Ohio weather a lot of the time, and sometimes it's shtick. Today, I actually think you people should feel sorry for us. Here's who you shouldn't feel sorry for, your Buckeyes people. Spring game went about as expected. We knew we'd get some commitments. We didn't know how many. There was one commitment before the spring game and one here in the ether that followed. We're going to talk about those and then give you Duane's opinion on the spring game before we leave the currency effect here. First, last night, Duane, and each of these recruits who joined on were probably the two most likely in terms of our experts to join. Major crystal ball action has been rolling on them for quite some time. The first is Noah Potter, defensive end out of Menor. His brother Micah on the Hoops team. What is your thought on Noah Potter? Do you fear nepotism here?
No, absolutely not. This kid can play. No. He's just been under the radar. We've been going after national guys, and we think about we've just made getting these top 10, top 5 guys at their position. It's just what we expect now. So many of them, I mean, especially the last couple of classes, have been so full of high 4 and 5-star guys that's just what we expect. And he's just been flying under the radar. All you've got to do is watch this kid on film. He's a football player. He's really outstanding. Going to be a strong side end here. Might grow into a 3-technique tackle, but he's coming in as a strong side end, and we should be happy to have him. Good football player, long kid, plays with a high motor, good athlete. Just he's just been flying under the radar because of Urban Meyer's how he's been recruiting. Jim Tressel would have been all over this kid in the first place. He wanted him on board no sooner than signing day was over. But with Urban Meyer, you look around a little bit, and he's going to look nationally, but I'm glad we did offer him early. He was an early, think about that. That's one thing that fans need to think about. Ohio kids, it's only the most outstanding kids are going to get offered early, because if Ohio State wants to look nationally and Urban Meyer sees the entire country as his recruiting backyard, and he's proven it over the years that is the truth. You just haven't seen those early Ohio offers except for the top kids, and this kid has an early offer. So, we're still in winter, unfortunately, and it's an Ohio kid with an offer. He committed. He belongs.
I would agree. I don't think there's nepotism involved here. This dude is going to be enormous by the time he's fully grown. His brother's a 4 or 5 on the basketball team. He's going to fill out. Super talented and strong. Nice pickup. The other, Ronnie Rocket Hickman, kind of a Paris Campbell type, let's say, out of the New Jersey area. Long thought to be a Buckeye and pulled the trigger this weekend. Your thoughts?
We need to drop the rocket. He's just not. Maybe when he was a little kid he was fast, but he's just not. He's a big athletic kid, and he's a good football player. I see him as a linebacker by the time he's done filling out. Better on defense than on offense. He just really does not have the speed to be a guy that can be a wide receiver for us. And he's going to get bigger. He's definitely going to get bigger. I could see him filling out to 230, 235, maybe even more than that. But he's just one of those kids that you watch his film, and he's so smart. He's so football smart. He's always doing the right thing. He's reading, reacting, making things happen out there. So that's a good, solid pickup. But, yeah, look for him to be a linebacker when he arrives at Ohio State.
Very interesting. Okay, let's move on to the spring game. Once again, can't make too much of it. It's a controlled scrimmage, and it's two-hand touch. Where they put guys is certainly choreographed and all that goodness. But I do think, you have to take a look at how the quarterbacks played. And what I kind of looked for is just who flashed. Guys who show, maybe the newer guys you haven't seen as much, some new numbers out there, who show you something that could translate to the season. Once again, you don't want to make too much of it, but there is some interesting content there to be checked out. Your view of the quarterbacks, it does seem like it was made to keep them close. There'll be some who say Joe Burrow outplayed Haskins. I didn't see that, but what is your vibe on the spring game? And then you can kind of lead that into your standard quarterback chatter.
Well, it was, it is what it is. As you said, it's still just the last scrimmage of the year, and the two-hand touch and all that takes some of the intensity out of it for sure. But in the end, we've got to come around to the one most important thing to come out of that is no injuries. The last thing that we needed was a key player to get hurt in this last scrimmage. It's really just a showcase for the fans. We fill up the stadium every year for this game, and, we have a little fun with it. But it does get frustrating for a lot of people, that the two-hand touch thing. I think we saw the quarterbacks for a while there. Burrow was just really killing it, and Haskins was not having anything more than an average game. But then Haskins came on at the end, and it was so damn close. We talk about the separation between the quarterbacks. I don't know if you can. If I was giving anybody the edge, it would be Burrow coming out of that game. The one thing I think we learned for sure is it's not going to be Tate Martell. He's still got so much confidence in his feet and not nearly enough confidence in his arm. Did not throw well, even when he was throwing it. That's the one separation we can put in there. We can, we've been talking about that it really was a three-man battle. It's not anymore, not after that. That's the only sure thing we can say about it. Well, I would also say this. Either way, we know we got a good quarterback coming in. We're going to have a guy coming in under center. Either one, whoever wins it, is going to be, I'm really excited about what this offense can do. We were throwing a lot of crossing routes, and that is just so hard for the defense to cover. And then you got a guy like McCall who just really, wow. I don't know how much we're going to miss Curtis Samuel, and Paris Campbell needs to watch out, because that kid caught everything that was thrown to him. He's got another level of speed too. So that's one of the revelations from this game is we forgot how good McCall is, and he looked solid. When they punted him the ball, he wasn't struggling to get under the ball. So I think we're going to be solid there in the punt return. He's one that stood out. As far as new guys, you had to like what you saw out of Master Teague. Even with the two-hand touch, he was running hard. His body looks like that of a college senior, not a college freshman. He is so well put together. He's obviously in top shape. Another guy that stood out to me was Ben Victor. He looked a lot more consistent. That's been the thing that's been nagging him ever since he got here is, he's just not consistent enough. Well, he was catching the ball really well in this game. Very impressed with that. He can really help us. On defense, Marcus Williamson, what a great game that kid played. He really had a good game. He was matched up against Jalen Harris, who got, what, 5 inches on him, 6 inches? And he was battling him when Harris was playing really well. He was on every pass, but Williamson was knocking the ball away from him. So Williamson really has put himself in the mix. His name had come up, talking to contacts a couple of times over the spring. But I just wasn't expecting that kind of performance. You're always concerned. We want big corners because we've got all these big receivers nowadays. And he didn't get the memo that he's not supposed to be able to play with these guys. And on the other side, I thought Sean Wade had an awfully good spring game. And he is a big corner. So those were the names that stood out to me. I thought Brady Taylor looked really solid at center. That has been a big concern for me, is that fifth-year senior being a first-time starter, that makes me a little nervous, but he looked awfully solid in there. It was very interesting. Munford playing on the left side and Prince on the right. I don't know what that's about, but Mumford struggled. He did. It was kind of tough for him out there. But then again, they put Nick Bosa over there to start the game, and just left him in there for a little while. And then he's got to deal with Chase Young. So, and when we know the position's rather new for him, even if he, even if they're trying to make it permanent, he's still got some work to do. But that was an interesting thing. I thought Werner looked good. He made the plays he was supposed to make. So that's promising for the linebacker unit.
Very nice review. I agree with you on virtually everything. The other guy that jumped out to me a little bit was Baron Browning. 2 batted balls on linebacker rushes. Just remind you that he's not an average-sized human being. I think Baron Browning is a key to this season on defense for them to be as good as we hope. And like you said, there were some questions in the secondary, and there's still questions at that one safety spot, but they have a tremendous amount of depth at corner now, it looks like, whereas that was going to be a concern for me. I agree with you. Williamson looked like he's probably ready for some nickel action coming up. We hope you guys enjoyed that review. Put the spring game to bed. Got a lot more coming up here on the site today. Keep it locked in, Bucknutters. Have a good one.